Hi, you're listening to Book Chat with author Vivian E. Moore.
Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode. We really appreciate you joining us. This podcast really shows us how we can all learn, live, and thrive off of each other. By sharing our knowledge through our conversations, we will impart some knowledge whilst learning ourselves how to progress even further. Here is your host.
Hello and welcome to Book Chat. I am your host, author Vivian E. Moore. Hope everyone had a great week and I hope you're having an even better weekend. All right, so I won't hold you for too long today. We're going to get in and we're going to get out. We have Christmas coming up next Sunday. And, of course, Book Chat will not be on air. And more than likely, we will not return until after the New Year. So I'm wishing you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year right now. All right, so let's get to today's show. The title of today's show is GIGO, and that stands for Garbage In, Garbage Out. And today's topic is how to get better writing results. All right, so, most people who are tech savvy, they are familiar with that term, GIGO. GIGO is what programmers call it, and it's a programming reference, if you didn't know that. Anyway, that came about, I'm sure, long before, I was in the programming world, because I do have a programming background. But anyway, that acronym was developed, I'm sure, for those who did sloppy programming. So, basically, when you program, if you program stuff that was garbage, well, that's exactly what you got in return was, the garbage information. And generally, if you had if it was a bad program, then of course you would have bugs in it that would cause it to crash and, and all of those awful things that can happen when you don't take your time and do something. But anyway, if you program sloppy, slop is what you get in the end. And the same idea, it applies to writing. And no one likes a lazy prose or a writer who rushes through a story and then thinks it'll be fine. Nope. Like the movie, if you haven't seen it, nope. But, as a novel, I'm a novel writer, or, whatever form of writing you do, your best is favorable. And I don't have to tell you that because you already know. You always want to give it your best, and if you need to get to a certain level, today's show is all about that. All right, because readers know when a story isn't well planned or plotted. And if you want to gain readers, then you need to come with your A game already in play. All right. So, communication between the characters and the reader is a priority. That's something as an author, as a writer, I don't have to tell you. You already know that. That's the whole reason, I guess, I hope, is why you became a writer, is because you want others to read your work, and you want it to be the very best that you can do. All right. So, and the main objection is to grab and hold the attention, from the word hello. Any writer worth their salt, understand you must make a connection within those first few paragraphs. If not, you will lose them forever. And we don't want to do that. We don't ever want to lose readers. We want to bring on as many readers as we can because we work hard to get our work up and running and to get those books into many hands as possible so we can get those reviews, get those likes, and just shine a little light on this world. All right. So anyway, there are a few techniques and writing aids that authors can use to help them improve their skills. Okay, so the best practice is to think about the readers first and foremost. They are the next in line after your book has passed editing. Even if the publisher thinks the work is great, the readers will validate that theory if it's true, and if it's not true, they will let you know that too, quick, fast, and in a hurry. All right, but at any rate, you always want to keep the readers in mind, because they are the ones that have their hands on the book that you've written, and you want them to enjoy it. You want them to feel like they're part of that story, and and like they know those characters on a personal basis. So when you write well, that is the end result. Okay. So another thing, writing exercises are another great way to stay fresh, and to help you with new ideas, and to and just upgrade your writing skills, as a whole. But and that is one surefire way to avoid making costly rookie mistakes, such as using overused words and common phrases. You see that a lot, especially depending on the genre. You see a lot of catchphrases. If it's young adult or something like that, a lot of phrases that you hear on TikTok and on YouTube and Facebook, that the Gen Zs use. So you see that in a lot of the books that are being printed today, and that's perfectly fine, because if you're writing to that crowd, then you want them to be able to recognize themselves in that story, and if that's the language that they're using, then it helps them to identify themselves within that story, because they can identify and say, oh, okay, well, maybe this is possible, because that's how we talk, on a day-to-day basis with my friends, and so anyway, just think about that. All right. Just try not to overly use, the catchphrases and things of that nature. Keep them to a minimum. It shouldn't be all the way throughout the story. If it's in a particular scene where they are with friends, then of course use it there, because that will be part of that lingo while they're conversating. They will be doing that or whatever. So, just try to use it, not necessarily sporadically, but you definitely use it sparingly. All right. So, I like sweets, and since the holidays, I have eaten a ton of them. But anyway, I like them as much as the next person. But that doesn't apply if your story is bursting at the seams with too much filler. Okay. Yeah, I went there to get to there. Okay. But and don't judge me. But anyway, less is more. I can't say that enough. Less is more. Mazes are fun, but if they're too intricate, you will avoid them in the future. Trust and believe. You most definitely will. It's like, I'm not doing that again, because I got in there and then I almost didn't get out. So, think about that when you are adding too much of a backstory. And I've read a lot of books like that, where it's like, okay, can we please get to the meats and potatoes of this story, because it's like I've been swimming through the gravy for a long time and I just want to get to the main portion of the meal. It's like that sometimes. All right. Okay, so another thing is punctuation. Now, punctuation is key and it's necessary, and it is a great idea to use a writing template or an add-in to help with placement in all the right areas of your document. Okay. If you're using Microsoft Office, which Microsoft Word, you can do add-ins. Now, I'm not sure with any other word processing product, because I'm mainly on Microsoft, and I do have I do write sometimes on Apple, but I don't know if they are compatible with a lot of the add-ins. So if you're using a Mac or whatever, I don't own one, so I don't know. But anyway, with Microsoft, you can do the add-ins, and they have a lot of writing programs that help you with punctuation and other things. Grammarly is awesome. So if you don't have that one, you might want to get Grammarly. And Pro Writing Aid is another great one that will help you with all of that. It'll give you the breakdown of words that you're using too much. It tells you how many words you need to eliminate. It'll show you where you're lacking in certain features, whether it's dealing with punctuation or whatever. It's great to have both of those at your assistance. It's very great to have both of them. So if you don't have them, you might need to get them. All right. So, and I shouldn't have to say this one, but I have to. Capitalization. It's not complex in the writing system. It's part of your, if you are, if you have to write something, or if you're texting, or you're posting something on social media, you don't start a sentence with the lowercase letter. You start it with a what? Capital letter. That's right. So the same thing applies when you're writing. Okay. All sentences start with a capital letter, and should be used accordingly. All right. Now, I understand that there are some tricky instances when considering whether you should or not, have a capitalization if it's within a sentence. And just remember the writing principles. Or if you can't do that, you can always Google them. Okay. All right. So the next one is reading. And we know that reading is what? Fundamental. We learned that at a very early age. All right. At least I did. And it will keep you fresh and your vocabulary on point if you habitually read daily. And that's necessary. And I don't see how anyone can get through an entire day without reading something. I mean, if you are a social media addict, I'm sure you're reading those posts. And, and sometimes, I read a lot of the posts. I'm not necessarily an addict, but, I am on social media quite a bit. But still, I read a lot of the posts, and I'm cringing because I'm like, okay, there is no punctuation, run-on sentences, you name it, it's there. And so, but I'm like, okay, I'm not going to judge because I understand, they're not in anyone's class. They're just, they're just posting and, and if you're reading it, then fine. They don't need anyone critiquing their work. They're just posting. They're just commenting on whatever has been, whatever topic it was posted on in the first place. So anyway, but still, when you have a writer's eye, that's the first thing you see. It's like your eyes are drawn to those things and you can't help it. So, visually, as you're scanning those posts, you are diagramming sentences and putting capitalization and punctuation where needed. So I try not to do that, but I can't help it. But anyway, just remember that reading is fundamental, and it's something that we do every single day. Whether it's reading a recipe, reading medicine bottles, reading the newspaper, which I know that's almost obsolete as far as having a physical paper in hand. Most everything now has gone digital. So, but still, you're reading something at least every day. But that's a good way for writers to stay on top of the vocabulary game. It's by reading every single day. All right, so the last technique is utilizing Microsoft Word. Now, you heard me mention that a few paragraphs ago. And they have this wonderful feature that is a read aloud feature. And, of course, Amazon Kindle has it as well. And I'll just be honest, I like the Microsoft one better because the voice sounds more human. It sounds less robotic, but the Kindle one is not too bad either. And you can also use the one that is on your iPhone. You can go in and change the voice of, like Siri, and also if you want to use dictation, or you want to use that read aloud feature, you can also change those voices from male to female, from British to English to Scottish, whatever, wherever you're from. If you want to hear the words in your native tongue, then that feature is on the iPhone, and that's why I love the iPhone so very much, because of that. But it's a great feature, and it's in Microsoft Word as well. So use that because it's the best way to to catch errors, is to hear the words spoken orally, and you gain the story's overall tone and capture the character's voice. So when you have it read aloud to you, I mean, you're writing the story, and you can hear the characters' voices within your own mind. But sometimes it's good, well, all the time it's good to have that story read back to you, so that way you can catch, certain things. Maybe not so much punctuation, but you can definitely catch misspelled words and incomplete sentences and things like that. So, or if you're using it, listening to it while you're reading, while you're reading the manuscript, that'll help you to better visualize capitalization, punctuation, and things of that nature. So they sort of go hand in hand. So, but anyway, these are just a few tips and techniques. And if you want more help, you may want to join, some writing groups on social media, or listen to podcasts. Hint, hint, this one in particular. But anyway, or you can web search it for additional information. So those are my helpful tips for today. And also, this is the last show for 2022. Can you believe it? Here we are already in December, the end of the year. And time flies, when you're having fun. So, and it's been great. It's been a great run. I have enjoyed coming to you every single Saturday throughout the year of 2022. I've had some ups and some downs, but the best part is that I had more ups than downs, and that's just life in general. Trying to lose my voice. I'm sorry. Let me take a sip here. I'm not crying. You're crying. But anyway, it's been a great year. It's been a tremendous year. And I've been through some things, but as they say, the show must go on. So it has been a pleasure and a delight to talk with you every single week, and I look forward to doing it more in 2023. Bringing more topics and more guests on the show, more writers, more authors, exposing them to more readers. So just stay tuned, okay? So I hope to see all of you back here in 2023, and and let's have a great 2023, shall we? All right, so before I let you go, I want to make sure that I give you these URLs, because I want you, in the meantime, to listen to Book Chat on Spreaker. You can listen to the recorded episodes until I return live in 2023. But the first one, of course, is https://www.spreaker.com/user/author Vivian Moore. You can follow me across all social media, which includes Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and what's the other one? Twitter. I had to think about it for a second. I don't use Twitter that much, so I had to think about it for a second. But anyway, and also you can check out my blog, which is updated on a weekly basis, and that is at https://vivianemore.blogspot.com. And you can also check out the recorded episodes anywhere where you listen to podcasts, but most definitely you can listen to it on Spreaker, Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcast, Castbox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, YouTube, SoundCloud, JioSaven, iTunes, Audible.com, Verbal, Luminary, and Amazon. How about that? All right, so tomorrow's worship day. It is the third Sunday. And So I hope that you're planning to go somewhere to worship, even if it's, if you're still listening to it, across the airwaves or across the internet. However you're listening to the sermons, it's important that you listen because, this has been a heck of a crazy year, and it's not over yet. And we don't know what's coming in 2023. All we can do is hope and pray for the best. All right. So that's what we can do. But we can most certainly do that, through corporate organization by going to church and congregating, with other like-minded individuals. And also it is so vitally important to tell those who you care about the most how you feel about them while you have the chance to do it. So on that note, I love you. I hope you love me back. Until the next time you hear my voice, God bless you and goodbye.
Loved what you've heard on this week's episode? Well, the answer is simple. It would mean the world to us if you could head over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review and feedback. Spreading the word really is the best way to grow our podcast and achieve even greater things. Thank you.